The Devil Carried His Soul Away Part 2 by Fernie Mosquera Vargas. After having spent several days eating and drinking with the man who would be his victim, Con Kill said to himself, "Tomorrow will be the last day of my friend's life. It's a shame, he was a good guy, but the mafia doesn't forgive." Con Kill had a gold-plated Smith & Wesson which he always carried on his waist. But since the Bee was always surrounded by bodyguards, he contacted a local criminal gang to do his dirty work without arousing suspicion. The next day Con Kill stayed at his house waiting for the news. Suddenly he heard, "Breaking news. An attack has just occurred against the individual known by the alias of the Bee who had recently arrived from New York City. It is believed that his death is due to the collection of accounts pending among drug traffickers." After the Bee's death, his friend put on a gala dress and went to his wake. But the incredible thing happened. When Con Kill looked out to see the deceased, the glass of the coffin broke into 1,000 pieces. After this, all those attending the wake were stunned. But the relatives of the deceased who had arranged the dead body with a prayer, and had tied his toes with a black cord, said, this was the one who killed him. After the scare, everything returned to normal and people began to drink liquor, play dominoes and tell stories at the wake. The next day, a large caravan headed towards the central cemetery of Buenaventura carrying the coffin with the Bee's mortal remains. But among them was Con Kill, the man who had arrived from New York with the purpose of taking the life of his childhood friend. Instead of playing sacred music, the friends of the deceased played him the songs that he liked in life. After the Bee's burial, the hitman who had killed him wanted to return to New York City with the purpose of collecting the 50% that was owed to him. But the plane left without him because people saw him at the foot of his friend's grave. And when people asked him what was wrong with him, he said crying, "They say I killed him. They say I killed him." And so he spent his time in the cemetery day and night until people stopped seeing him because he disappeared without a trace, and they say that the devil took him. This is a true story. Those who usually perform witchcraft with the corpses of their murdered relatives go to hell because God says in His Word, "Do not venge yourself. I will give the payment. Vengeance is mine." In the heat we can defend ourselves, but thinking about taking revenge when everything has already happened is a sin.